Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of FanCam Commentary. Today we're going to be looking at the last edition of the Halloween episodes. We're going to be looking at an FMW Fire Death Match. This is from 1992, and this one has a couple of legends in it. This has got the original Sheik with his nephew, the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal Sabu, and they are facing Tarzan Goto and Atsushi Onita. In Onita's promotion, FMW Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling. This is a crazy match, though. There's been a lot of fire death matches in pro wrestling that have went pretty well. They kind of got it down after a while, but this might be the first FMW fire death match. Maybe the first fire death match. This is pretty early, but this one right here gets really out of control. As you can see, they've got the ring ropes down and they've got the barbed wire up, and it looks like they've got these huge towels. I'm not exactly sure what the fabric is that's on it, but wrapped around the barbed wire, kind of separated between all three strands. And there's people out there right now that are about to start lighting these up, as the wrestlers are going to start making their entrances as well. See who's coming out first. I think it's going to be Onita and Tarzan. I could be wrong also. Cool atmosphere here. Got this outside and it's nighttime, so the fire really, there's a little bit of light there. As you can see, there is a lot of people there. FMW, especially during this time, known for the explosion death matches. Yeah, there's Tarzan Goto and Onita making their way down to the ring. They haven't fully set the strands ablaze yet. As you can see, the fire just kind of outside there. Once they start lighting this thing up, it's going to be a sight to see. This is early in Sabu's career. Sabu had been wrestling for a couple of years at this point. Of course, his uncle, his real-life uncle, the original Sheik, an absolute legend in pro wrestling even at this point, pretty much retired at this point even. He had most of his career, I believe he started in the 30s. The original Sheik is one of the OGs of professional wrestling. Ran a promotion in Detroit, Michigan in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, maybe even into the 80s. Big time wrestling, known for a lot of the early hardcore stuff in the annals of pro wrestling. Came from the Sheik. The Sheik known for having that spike that he would jab guys with, very Abdullah the Butcher style. You see there, he's bringing there is the original Sheik bringing out the fire, playing with it. A dangerous individual in the history of pro wrestling, though. I don't know if anyone had ever seen the movie I Like to Hurt People. It's from the late 70s. It's got people like Dusty Rhodes in it, Andre the Giant, Bobo Brazil, a lot of old school wrestlers, but it's really focusing on the original Sheik and that promotion, Big Time Wrestling, which was affiliated with National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA. So it wasn't like it was just this off-skirt, pro wrestling ragtag group. They were affiliated with the National Wrestling Alliance, but they had a little bit more of an edgier, hardcore style in their promotion. Actually, one of the earlier Rewind Wednesdays about a couple of weeks ago, I put up with Mark Lewin versus Terry Funk was from Big Time Wrestling in the late 70s. It had a lot of cool stuff. As you can see, there's Sabu as well. Sabu and the Sheik making their way into the ring here, ready to go, as they're going to start lighting these strands up, these towels up, which are doused in gasoline, I believe. And I believe it after you see how quick these things go up. As you see a right hand there by Onita to start things up against the Sheik, and right now they're going to start lighting them up. The fires have started. The match is in progress. I would not want to be that referee right now, as Tarzan and Sabu. But Sabu, a lot of the scars on Sabu's body actually came from these early FMW barbed wire matches. He would do a lot of chaotic, crazy dives into them, and he ended up with a lot of scar tissue. Look at the fire's already getting intense. These guys, you see the black smoke coming off of it. And these guys are not going to know what to do in a minute. because it's going to get a little bit crazy. I think Sabu's one of the first guys to bail and starts grabbing buckets of water and trying to douse the flames a little bit. They're basically on the ground in the middle of the ring, the referee getting as close as they can, because if they get any close to the edge, they're going to catch on. They're going to get burnt. You can see Sabu right there. Sabu said, "Screw this," and got the hell out of there, getting a bucket of water. Again, throwing water at this fire. And yeah, there's Tarzan. He's outside the ring now. Onita's outside the ring now. Oh yeah, and Onita's got a chair there. Not a lot of wrestling in this match. This is really just a chaotic scene right here. As you can kind of see that they're fighting over there on the far side. There isn't a camera over there. Sabu just threw water on his head. I'm sure these guys were even singed up as close as they were to this fire, and the fire is just out of control. Like, they can't even put it out. They're throwing water at this fire right now, and it is just burning up this ring. This is an insane scene. It's just a sea of people as Onita and the original Sheik are still just fighting throughout the crowd here, as this match just went off the rails basically instantly. I mean, as soon as they started lighting that fire, it was a no-go. Onita there grabbing another chair. Sheik still stalking him. As you can see in the back of Sheik's trunks there, that spike, known for that spike, and he would just rip guys up. Oh, he threw a fireball right in Onita's face. That was awesome. Right outside the ring, known for the fireball. One of the best to ever throw it. I mean, you got Jerry Lawler, a great fireball thrower back in the day in Memphis. He threw a fireball in so damn long. I wonder if he could still do it, but the Sheik was one of the greatest. Oh, he's still throwing fireballs out in the crowd now. Just straight out of his hand. It looks so cool. Looks like a wizard. He nailed Onita with one. See, I'm not sure where Sabu and Tarzan are. The camera's just kind of following the original Sheik. The cameras are all around him. The referee's freaking out, just throwing this match out. I don't believe there's any kind of winner here. They're just throwing this thing out. But Sheik and Sabu were pretty regular in FMW during this time period, around 93, 94, even into 92, 93, and even into 94. Of course, Sabu would end up working with FMW later when ECW worked with him in the late 90s. But in the early days here, in these insane, chaotic matches in Japan, Sabu cutting his teeth in matches like this. There's Goto. Another wild man in wrestling. I mean, numerous, endless amounts of exploding barbed wire matches. Some of the most violent matches you could get into. The fire's just still burning down the ring here. They never got this under control. I don't even know if they had fire extinguishers. They were just throwing water at it, and it did nothing. They have some lights on the far side over there. It's kind of like lighting up the area a little bit, at least. Yeah, the crowd is pretty good distance as well away from the ring. It's funny though, Sabu, first one to just dive out of the ring, he realized that he was like, this is getting out of control quick. Everyone else followed suit. The referee, though, see the lights going dim there a little bit. There's still just looks like a chaotic scene. I can't even really make out what's going on here. There we go, zooming in a little bit. There's Goto. Maybe trying to help Onita. Not sure. There's not a camera down there. It's like a really wide shot here. Yeah, throwing buckets of water, I believe, on Onita, trying to help him out, who just probably got burnt inside the ring there. These guys had some insane injuries over the years. I need to find that match for Onita. He had that. I mean, Onita's known for the barbed wire exploding match, so he always had like cuts and lacerations on his body. And after one of these events, these large masses of these crowds followed him almost like a cult. And after his match outside, just like this, he just starts trucking off into like the streets, and he finds this bridge, and he dives off into like this. I don't know if it was a lake or if it was a river. They cannot put this fire out. That's just madness. They're still trying to figure out what to do. But he dove into this body of water in Japan with all these cuts and lacerations on him and nearly freaking died. He was in the hospital for a long time after that. I'm not sure exactly what he caught, but it was not good. Jumping into a filthy body of water. As you can see, they're just rushing water out right now, trying to douse Onita. Yeah, they're kind of freaking out here. Probably going to get an ambulance in here. That's how a lot of these episodes this month in October have ended, with the ambulances. I put together, 4 weeks of pretty crazy matches. Like I said, next week we're probably going to go back to a little bit more of a normal schedule on the violent scale anyways. I'll definitely keep revisiting some of these territories and these violent matches, but probably keep going back to throwing in some regular matches as well. Please, if you're joining, please subscribe, like. That really helps out the channel. Leave a comment. Anything in the future you'd like to see, let me know. Whether it be New Japan, All Japan, WWF, WCW, ECW, or any obscure random indies we could squeeze in as well. As you can see that the footage here going to be ending on a little bit of chaos, as they never did actually officially put out the ropes, put out the barbed wire that was wrapped. They've got that one down knocked. They're just here trying to figure out what to do. Like, I can't believe they didn't have some fire extinguishers here.
That is typical. I'll just put this over here with the rest of the fire.
I haven't seen one fire extinguisher. That's probably why a lot of these matches didn't happen in America. Okay, somebody's jumping in there. They're just cutting down the strands. They're cutting it down. There's somebody, that brave dude in the ring there. He's taking the matter into his own hands here. As the wrestlers have now left the ringside area, but again, no actual clear winner between the Sheik, Sabu, Goto, and Onita. Everyone just throwing stuff on the fire, dousing it. I mean, they had to have been using gasoline. They cannot get this stuff out. Crowd chanting for Onita. He did. He had a rabid fan base, though. He brought out some really big crowds in the 90s for a promotion that pretty much came from nothing, with a different style of pro wrestling. But yeah, this sort of footage is winding down. Thank you again for joining me. One more time, please subscribe. Gonna figure out what I'm gonna do next week. I will get that under this episode in the days following once I figure that out. But yeah, thanks for joining me.